Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25.
Come on, set. Alert.
They start the drive with Cook. And some room to work. And all the way down to the 35. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. Boy, Dalvin Cook just so explosive in the open field. He's not a small guy either, but once he gets those legs churning, look out.
And first and foremost, this is all about vision. He can see the play developing right in front of him. And once he's past the line of scrimmage and got a full head of steam behind him, he's just going to keep right on going.
Now Lawrence on first down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Well, this game, the ninth that the Jags have played here in London. You might know that Shad Khan, he's the owner of both the Jaguars and Fulham in the English Premier League on the soccer side of things. And this is the third of 3 London games the NFL will play this year. But there is one more game to come over on the continent, the Seahawks and Bucks from Munich, Germany. The first time a regular season game will be played there.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. The Jaguars now at 2-5 to start play. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. Really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Flush to his right. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Lawrence will throw. And Ingram hauls it in. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a 1st and goal.
They'll run with Cook. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense, because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Robinson. He is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. 3rd down. Here's a run by Cook. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Dalvin Cook His second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 25-yard line. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. Well, Charles, you think about this defense. This week in preparation, you couldn't hide the fact from them that they're facing a team that's lost 7 in a row. You just wonder if they prepared the same way they normally do.
Yeah, that's a great question because normally that preparation goes into what you do well on defense. What is the best thing that you do going into a game? But in this case, you might want to take all the tendencies and throw them out the window. I would expect them to throw every trick play in the book right out of the gate in order to try and get something established and get things moving.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Well, this defense for the Jaguars, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
And they needed to be because the game was a game we don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and each play took on more importance, and they got it done.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Got a man. It's Patterson complete. And almost, but not quite. Needed 10. He got 9. 4th down. They'll go. It's Patterson. And he's taken down at the 43, but now the 4 picking up the 1st. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. At first glance, I actually wasn't sure that he got it, but he ended up getting it by about a full yard.
He certainly did, but it took a little effort, didn't it? Took some nice push, a little crease inside, and some determined running to make sure that he got the 1st down.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Wilson. That's complete. It's Okuwebunam. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A give to Williams, running right. And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver 1st. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. They try the left side here with Williams. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Making that play behind the line was Dwayne Smoot.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. On the counter, here's Williams. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score.
Javonte Williams.
His 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Broncos are an extra point away from evening this one up.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's a one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away.
Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards.
And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Play action. It's Wilson.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
Partner, we've got ourselves a ball game, and those guys on defense, they came to play. Slipped up on their first series, but they're definitely settling in now and letting it be known the points won't come so easy again.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. Agnew now to return. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory.
You ready?
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Here's Lawrence to throw. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. So 8 yards on the completion there. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. If you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football.
And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer, and put your defense in a bad spot.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done, because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
He's got a man, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. 1st and 10, it's Patterson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run, because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Many times when a play breaks down and the quarterback's moving around outside of the pocket, you're thinking just get rid of something short. But a lot of guys are coached, think deep, take the big shot, hoping someone can get lost behind the secondary. They weren't able to connect on that one.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. 4th down, Wilson trots off, and on comes Brandon McManus for the Denver field goal. The kick by McManus is good, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. With his slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 76 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
They go play action with Lawrence.
Steps away.
The pass complete to Ingram on the crossing route.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles and really scatter some people, can't they?
Throwing again on 2nd down.
Lawrence.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Lawrence on 3rd down.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the 2nd half. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson being chased, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Dewan Smoot getting in there, recording the sack. I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, with talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the 3rd quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. A sack like that, maybe that can get him going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said. That they got together and said, let's be some change agents here. Let's go ahead and turn things around. Let's be the force.
He's got a man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 40 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
They've got the lead early here in the 3rd quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the 2nd half.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Wilson. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, you
you got to think that sooner or later they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Here's Wilson. This will complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 25-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. Now Williams running left. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw here into the hands of the receiver, Jeudy. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Play action. Now Wilson. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Here's Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sutton. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
On the set.
Now Lawrence to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Play action. It's Lawrence. Completes it to Evan Ingram. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 23 yards on the play.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on third down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a first down.
And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. There for the stop defensively, Nick Bonito.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, stop it.
They go play action now. Lawrence. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw here taken in by Ingram. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try the middle with Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Here we go!
Here we go. Gotta have it. Lawrence. Hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Broncos will take over on downs. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Andre Sisco. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
So that, Charles, obviously just a game changer here this fourth quarter, and they're an extra point away from stealing the lead.
And stealing is the absolute right word for it, because that'll wake up your sideline, won't it, partner?
Well, there's still time remaining, but boy, I mean, you think about it, you go from an offense with a lead in the ball trying to salt things away to a completely different scenario now after the return for a score.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they have to try and move past that pick six because now they're dealing with a fourth quarter deficit, and they need this drive to end in points. 56 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
Brought to the ground by the linebacker, Foye Oluokun.
He only gave them an instant to react. It was a classic case of if you blink, you missed him. Off of the line and to the quarterback in just a couple of seconds. Running back only had a moment to react and attempt to throw a block.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, Wilson.
On the sideline, did he keep his feet in bounds? They say yes. Great job, both feet in, 1st down.
Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton, 40 yards.
And the Broncos have taken a fourth quarter lead.
He's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. If you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes, he just takes off and goes. And I think that's what we just saw there.
Wilson going to throw for it. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
And they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter.
Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the second half. Want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder. Because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
They sure did, and remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards.
They go play action with Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Well, a clear running situation, try to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football, so now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit him over the top.
And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Javonte Williams with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Broncos might be headed to the win column for the first time this season as they add on to their lead. McManus's point after is good, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
On the double. Hey, rock it, rock it.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. 117 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Robinson will try to pick it up.
And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. So this one will wind up a Denver victory.
Well, if you step back and look at this, CD, a pretty impressive victory. Not the best defense in the NFL they were going against, but it is a top 10 defense in this league, and they're pretty sound, but yet they found a way to get it done and get the victory.
Yeah, I got to give them credit because I think their game plan was really, really strong for this one. They knew where they wanted to attack. They knew how they wanted to execute, and they did it with confidence and a little bit of verve as well.
So for Denver, they finally taste victory for the first time after 7 straight defeats. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, the